Hello, this is Kirsten. Welcome to my channel, and I'm starting today with giving you a little trip round some of the findings I have in my craft room, because today we're on to nature's treasures. Look at this treasure here. And then over here we have a whole other treasure. This is rusty bits I found that I've made into something. And then we've got loads of, fortunately there's a reflection there, but you can see seaweed and barley. There's a crab shell, part of a scallop shell. See, I like the broken bits as well. That's a fossil there. And I've got a bit of coral down here. So lots of findings there. That there is a lovely bit of seaweed. Back on my craft desk with my coffee. Oops. I've got some more treasures here. I'm someone who every time I go for a walk, I collect things whenever I see them on my walk. I scavenge, I pick up things from the ground. I not only pick up nature's treasures, which I'm going to show you in a bit, but I also pick up big lumps of rusting stuff, which is just fabulous. And eventually they sometimes find their way into a piece of artwork or into a journal. But it's nature's treasures today, so I've got some treasures here. We've got some acorns. Some have fallen out there. That's because they don't, and the thing is, when they dry, they no longer fit in the cup they were in because they shrink. See, this is a big cup that would have housed this acorn, but it's no longer going to fit in there. So you have to remarry them with smaller cups and stick them in usually. I've got chestnut. I've got some wool that was caught on a barbed wire fence. I've got this fabulous stone that's worn a hole all the way through it. I've got this quite unusual pine cone that's really quite soft. Can you see that? These are some oyster shells, but they've really been worn down. They must have been pummeled against the sand and the rocks and the sea waves for a long time to get, because there's no mother of pearl really left on the inside, and you can see them starting to wear totally through. There's another shell. Well, this is an oyster that's grown round a stone, which is incredible as well. This is a bit of flint. Need to wet that for you and you'll see that clearer. There you go, see, a bit of flint, which is a lovely thing to have. I found that on a beach. If we have a look in here, I've got some sea glass. I've got some shells, especially wee ones and big ones and bigger ones, and these ones actually all didn't come from Orkney, they came from another Scottish island, Iona. And there's a bit of pottery in there as well, sea pottery. This bit I love, this little bit. Look at that with a little tree on it. So there's all that sea glass and shells. Let's take these off here. Oh, and then seed heads, which you've seen lots of them hanging up on that frame to dry. We've got I have the blind down so that it doesn't, the sun doesn't discolour them, bleach them. the blind stops them getting bleached, and then they end up having a bit of colour. Some of them are more better than that than others. I've got this wee seed head as well. I don't even know what this is a seed head from. Oops. And this little bit of, I think it's maybe a little bit of coral, but I don't know. Very fragile, that. And then in this box I have some pressed leaves, and oh, there's a sycamore. It's kind of a bit of a raggedy one, and there's some pressed flowers in here. Oh, there's a bit of honesty. Oh, there's a feather. So this box just contains other treasures of nature that I've pressed or collected. Sometimes things like the feather shouldn't really be in here. I don't know how it's ended up in here. It must have just been put in there. There's another wee seed head. That looks like it's fennel seeds or something. I love the fact that these ferns, you see the spores, this is how these ones here are really nice, and you get really quite mucky from these ones. These ones I keep on thinking I need to try and see if I can do a print with them. So there's lots of different leaves and things in here. There's another pretty little seed. So I've got lots of options. I love these now. You'll appreciate these. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Already starting to kind of be a bit grunged. I've got some lovely purple ones as well. Right. Stop looking through these, Kirsten. Well, you're going to have to look through these. But I thought, I've got lots of nature's treasures. So for today's prompts, nature's treasures, I'm actually going to use some of nature's treasures. So I'll be back once I've picked out what bits I'm going to use. So these are the ones I've decided I'm going to work with today. I've taken one of these oyster shells. We've got this little delicate, lovely little leaf. We've taken the fern leaf. I've got several of them, so that's okay. This little feather, the wool, and one of the acorns that I'd already stuck back in a little cap. And what I've decided I'm going to do today is not a page, but I'm going to work on a spine dangle, because I've now got 2 spine dangles on my journal. Well, rings for them, but I haven't actually done any spine dangles yet. So the first thing I need to do is, because this is a spine dangle, these leaves aren't going to survive unless I do something with them. Now, this is a really handy thing to have if you're like me, deal with delicate things. This is the kind of thing that you see in a pass, in a work. It's kind of thick plastic this side, and this is sticky underneath this white. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay these down on here. I'm actually going to take this leaf off its stem. So I'm going to lay these down on here, and then hopefully get this right, because sometimes it's a bit tricky. So you peel this off, start it. I should really do that round the other way, and then there's less likelihood of it going awry. Because then hopefully what we'll do is we'll catch that first. There is, because there's dimension, there's more chance of you getting an air bubble, and there's not a lot you can do about that. You can do what I'm doing and try and work it down, but you're just as likely to actually break the leaf doing that. So I just try and get it at least round the main bit. Oh, wondered where that gone. It's stuck. Oh dear, it's obviously got a bit of, let's just take that all the way off, got a bit of static and taking it up when it's not actually got to that bit yet. Let's just make sure we've got the air bubbles out of this one first. So you just take it up the length. You're not going to get it in all those bits, but taking up the length to make sure I get the air bubbles out. And then let's just, this one should be far easier. There we go. So these now will be able to be dangled on without causing an issue. The other thing I could have done is with this leaf here, put it in a bottle cap and then put an acrylic dot over it. However, I think it's be too big because I've got two dangles I'm doing, and I've got the acorn I really want to use and this I really want to use. I just felt that was going to be too big. This wool, I think what I'm going to do is see if you get any wool like this that you found on a fence, if you just pull it, put it back together, pull it, put it back together, what you're doing is you're starting to have all the fibres going in the same way. So once you've done that a few times, then what you want to do is lay the fibres down a bit, like that, and then just, this isn't the way you would necessarily do it if you were doing it properly, but if you don't have the tools and you don't have an awful lot of wool either, because you need a lot of wool, so you've now got to think, and then you actually need to get it in your hands and give it a proper twist. And already I can feel all the lanolin coming out this wool and softening my hands, because that's one of the nice things about working with raw wool, that there's lanolin in it. Now what will happen is you will twist, you will twist, you will twist, and then when you let go it'll all come undone, but you're still strengthening it a bit. And then once you've decided, see that bit's going quite thin, so let's just move on to the next bit so I don't tear it. Once you've kind of have torn it, you can twist it back together again. Right, so once you've got it all kind of twisted to a point, then what you need to do, so you've got it all big. Now it'd be wonderful if I could use this bit of wool like that, but however, I'm just going to have to twist this together now to try and get some tensile strength in it. So now it's 2-ply, and there's a 2-ply rather than 1-ply. I mean, it's not 2-ply in the traditional sense because it's clearly thinner bits and thicker bits. Just keep twisting and twisting and twisting. Now again, if I let go of this, it will all unravel again, but if I now put these two ends together, hold it down, it will twist itself, and now it will stay twisted. So that's not quite long enough for a dangle. However, it's long enough to give me an idea of a dangle, and it's also long enough that I can, once I've done something else to it, maybe then work this acorn into that twist so it will hold that acorn. Now the one thing I must do is tie a knot this end, because if I don't tie a knot it will all come undone. So I'll need to decide what I'm doing for the rest of my dangle, but for there, So there's another bit done. Now, these are treasures in their own right, but I thought one of the things I might do with this acorn and with the feather as well, maybe. I'm not so sure about this because I love this, the fact that this is all smooth, but let's see where we get to. But certainly with the acorn is I'm going to put some, I think I'm actually going to go with some copper paint. And all I'm going to do is squish it on there. Now you could do this with gilding wax or something because it'll give a more permanent finish. I'm going to need to more and also want to hold it. I'm going to use a nice bunch of this. Actually, it's nice to use because then I see this everything gets smoother. I see then I want to do a second coat. So I've taken one of nature's treasures and I've treasured it up a bit more with some copper. I could use gold, but I wanted to use copper for that one. So let's just put it on that to dry. But I'm also going to do a similar thing with the feather. But with the feather, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use gold. I'm going to put a bit of gold in here. I was actually going to use gold for the acorn, and I was going to use copper ink for the feather, but never mind. And I'm just going to run it through the paint like that. So it gets it along its edge. See that? Let's just try that again, get that on there. There we go. So I've just got it along the edge of the feather. And what I need to do, just press it down and press it down that side as well. Pull it up. There we go. So we just got that, and I think I'm going to do it along the top edge as well. So run it through the paint. So you're picking it up, run it through the paint, blot it down on the one side, and then the other side, just give it a little, and you'll get a little bit of golden on there. And I'm also going to put the whole of the quill in the gold. If I had another finger, I'd do it with another finger, but I don't. And we'll put that on there to dry as well. And as I said, I don't think I'm going to do anything with this. Well, maybe I should just do it around the edge. Should we do that in silver? Let's do that in silver. That's quite good. I quite like that. Just now wondering whether to do the whole of the inside, but I don't think I will. So that's that one done. I'm now going to go and clean up, and I'll be back. I'm back. I've tidied up a bit. I went and got, this was a project I did with some metal leaves for a hanging, and I went and rescued some copper wire from it because that's now put away because we're past autumn, fall, harvest, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to use some of this to help secure this stuff together. I've also gone into my bead and button stock, and I've got a wooden leaf to add to it. I know that that's not really nature, but it reflects nature, and it means that I've got these leaves, but it's a bit of wood. I was looking for a bit of bark, but all my bits of bark are too thick and chunky and heavy at the moment, so I need to remember next time I'm going to see if I can find. We're expecting a storm here. Great time to go out foraging once we've had a storm because everything's kind of blown off. This is a pearl, and this is a bit of abalone shell that's actually, so take it in, that one, twist round and through, twist round and through, that way, and that way will hold it There we go. And that will hold on my spine dangle. So that's that one dealt with. This one I'm going to wrap in copper wire to try and get it to hold. So let's, well no, I need the long bit. Where's the long bit? One of these bits a good deal longer than the rest of that one. So all I'm going to do is take it round to start with and twist this together so that the first bit's secure, and then we need to take it to, see, until you've taken it to another point and bring it back there and twist it again, then take it to another point, and this time take it to another point, and then just wrap and wrap and wrap until you get near the end, and take it back to the start and twist it again. And then it's worth taking this twist out, taking the end down, doubling that down, holding it at the bottom and twisting again so that you've really managed to twist that in. Take it down and twist it again. It's actually, you might find it easier using pliers than using your fingers. I use my nails really more than, so it's a bit like using pliers. So that's now quite secure on there, and it's added another layer of kind of, it's interesting, the silver, you almost don't see it, it's become almost part of it, which I really like. So that's that one now secure on. I've cut this out, and we need a hole for this one, and we need a hole in this one, and there we go. So that's now, so that can be attached, that can be attached, that can, that. It's just the feather now that we're left with, and oh, there we go. Oh, the feather isn't quite dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the feather to dry some more as we put together the rest of this. I think it might be worth me bringing my journal over and deciding which of the two spine dangles I'm going to, if I hang it from this one, then that's as low as I can go. If I hang it from this one, I could have, because I've got things like this long fern, and I've also got the feather that I probably want to hang down further. So I'm thinking that maybe that's what I want to do, and then add the other bits. So I want the fern maybe down here's my finished spine dangle hanging on my spine. There's the acorn being held up by the copper wire and wool, the wooden leaf button, the oyster shell edged with a bit of silver, wrapped in copper wire. There's the fern, there's the abalone shell, there's the other smaller leaf, there's the pearl, and there is, I'm trying to get to fall down and over in wood, the feather edged with gold. I'll try and get this all in, but it might not. I don't want it all to fall. There we go. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you for the next prompt. Take care, and don't forget, keep crafting. Bye for now.